and welcome everyone to the new moon in Sidereal Virgo intention setting practice here in the Sidereal Insights Astrology Facebook community. Let me refresh my browser just real quickly. I'm going to pull up the broadcast so that if there are questions in the comments while we're live, I can read them easily right here off my laptop screen. How's everyone this evening? If you can hear me and see me okay, and you're on the broadcast, please let me know. I think we have everything set up correctly, but we're running a little bit behind this evening. So, all right, let's get the notes and we'll dive right in. So I'm Phaedra. For those of you who are new to the broadcast, I'm the astrologer and the artist of Mystick, Physick, Astrology, and I use Western Sidereal Astrology in my practice. Specifically, I use the Fagan-Bradley Sidereal Zodiac. And the idea behind the work that I do is that I am interested in helping you reconnect with your soul purpose and remembering why you came into this incarnation to begin with. And really, with the broadcast, my aim is to provide guidance for you on how you can consciously use the energy of the transiting planets to affect your life in a positive way. And so that way, you can leverage the power of the planets by working with them rather than against them. And so through that lens, what we do is an intention setting practice every new moon to get clear about the outcome that we would like to manifest from that new moon as something new comes into our life or something new begins as an experience in our life. And then at the full moon, what we do is we do a releasing practice to let go and move beyond things that we've outgrown or that are no longer serving us. And so welcome to the new moon intention setting practice. This is the new moon in Sidereal Virgo. And if you need to look up your sidereal sign placements, let me get you a link. I have a handy online calculator. So this is mystickphysick.com/sidereal tools. Oh, wow. What did I do? It pasted it a bajillion times and not just once. There we go. That should be it. So if you just type in your birth data and take a quick screenshot, you're looking for, primarily with these broadcasts, we're interested in your ascendant and what sign it's pointing to. But you can also do these practices for your sun sign. So whatever sun sign you have with that calculator. And sometimes, you know, if you're curious, sometimes it can be helpful, especially if you're like reading your horoscope or something, to read for your moon sign as well. That can also be insightful. I know a lot of folks who like to do that. Welcome to the broadcast, those of you who are new. Let me pull my notes back up here. So tonight what we're going to do is we are going to, in kind of a three-part exploration, we're going to work through exploring the astrology of this particular new moon and what's important about it, what's significant about it, how the current transits might affect the expression of a new moon in Virgo. We're going to, in part 2 of the broadcast, we're going to review which house this falls in for each of you according to your sidereal rising sign and recap what the themes of the houses are. And that way, if you're not super familiar with houses in astrology, you'll know what themes you can work with for this particular new moon. And then in part 3 of the broadcast, what we'll do is we'll explore the themes and the archetypes of Virgo. And we'll look at some different prompts that you can use as you are thinking about what it is you want to set your intentions around and what outcome you want for that intention. And so that's where we're headed this evening. We're going to specifically explore healing in the Virgo expression of it, healing illness, potentially healing trauma, things that allow us to bring healthy behaviors into our life. We're going to look at identifying healthy daily habits that you can establish with the new moon in Virgo. That's an excellent time to look at setting up brand new habits in your life, especially things you want to begin doing, or say healthful new foods you want to begin incorporating into your diet. At the full moon, I would recommend a practice of releasing foods that you're trying to move away from consuming. Let that go at the full moon. And then at the new moon, this is where you want to focus on what new healthful foods can you bring into your diet that maybe will supply some kind of nutrition that you're in need of or that you might be lacking. And then we're also going to set really practical intentions around self-care and self-love. And so that's what we're going to explore with this particular new moon. So the new moon is today, September 28th. Normally we do these broadcasts a day ahead of schedule, and I apologize to all of our viewers in the UK and Australia and in the future, because I just could not host this broadcast for you last night. By the time I would have started, I would have been up for a really insane amount of time. I think I was been awake for probably about 38 hours by that point, and so I just decided to wait one more day and get a good night's sleep before trying to take you through the exercises today. But this new moon, what it does is it kind of opens a path to health and healing for each of us, and depending on where this falls in your natal chart and how it might touch off your own personal planets, that can express in different ways. But for some of us, this can be through reconnecting with healthy, nourishing foods, with healthful daily exercise habits. Sometimes it can be with establishing healthy behaviors. For instance, like meditation. Say if you have Virgo in the 12th house, maybe you want to establish a new meditation practice to begin developing practices that can support mental and emotional and spiritual health, right? You can do this through reconnecting with nature, through reconnecting with the natural world. Things like gardening are an excellent way to tap into a new moon in Virgo. You can do it through creative trades and crafts, especially things that involve weaving or the fiber arts. Those are excellent types of creative activities that you can explore to really move into this new moon in Virgo energy in terms of establishing a new healthy habit or exploring a new path involving creativity or things that bring you wellness into your life, right? That's really kind of what we're looking at moving into, is that kind of opening up to wellness type of energy. And so there's a lot of different ways that can express and that can manifest, like I said, depending on which house this is in. And we'll explore that in a little more depth in part 2. But right now with the new moon in Virgo, so we might feel a little bit more inclined to be kind of practical, right? Like less daydreamy. This is a time when we really find comfort in being organized and being productive and being practical. We might be more inclined to express our emotions by tending to our loved ones, like through things like nursing or cooking or caregiving in those ways, providing good, hearty, warm food, that sort of thing. A nice, comfortable, dry, cozy, warm home. So this new moon, September 28th, new moon in Virgo, it's going to activate a stellium of personal planets that are currently touring Virgo. And so this is an opportunity really to kind of tap into that extra support. We're going to have roughly half of the solar system in Virgo all at the same time. And what that'll do is it'll bring a lot of benefits to bear on multiple areas of life at one time. So this new moon, as it stands, holds a great deal of potential if you're willing to take practical, concrete steps towards manifesting the fruits of your labors. And so, to give you... My dog is trying to get more comfortable. I hope you don't mind. I don't think it's going to work, but she's trying. This is something we don't really talk about a whole lot on the new and full moon broadcasts, but in terms of how we would explore transits and how they can manifest. So when you have the ruler of one house transiting another house or another sign, what we say is that the activities of the host sign, of the host house, further the agenda of that planet's ruling house or ruling sign, right? So say for instance, if you had the ruler of your second house in your 9th house, we could say that contact with foreigners or long distance travel are activities that could bring you financial benefits, right? Because the ruler of your financial house is touring the house of long distance travel, touring the house of foreign activity and foreign people. So that's just kind of an example, right? So with this new moon, what we have all these personal planets, and Mercury and Venus, of course, each of them have dual rulership. So we have a lot of different areas of life at once for everybody that could be activated or affected by not only the activities and the opportunities that are cropping up within the days around the new moon, but also by whatever the long-term outcomes of this new moon are. And so with that in mind, in particular, this is a new moon. I would really strongly suggest that don't let the opportunity pass by without getting specific around your intentions for this new moon and the outcome. I would definitely spend time thinking about what it is that you want to manifest, what your ideal outcome is. I would definitely spend time visualizing it. I would encourage you to spend time drawing it out. I would encourage you to spend time coming up with an affirmation in support of the outcome that you want to manifest. The other thing that I would really strongly suggest, because this particular new moon has the potential to be quite so influential, is to do the practice also for your sun sign, because you'll feel these effects through the sun sign influence as well. And because there will be so many effects related to and as a consequence of events around this particular new moon, I would encourage you to get out in front of them and help direct that manifestation, help guide it in a way that is in support of the life you're wanting to cultivate for yourself, rather than just kind of flying by the seat of your pants and seeing what happens as the transits play out and then just reacting. It's far, far better to get a handle on, well, how can this energy play out? How would I want to put it to use in my own life? What are my goals? What are my plans? What are my intentions? Get specific and get structured, because then you're much more likely to manifest what it is you want in the long term. And I think this is a valuable opportunity because there are so many potential ramifications from this new moon that we would all be remiss if we didn't take as much advantage of it as we can. And that means definitely doing the practice, and doing it for your new moon would be highly recommended. And so that really kind of wraps up part one of the broadcast. What I will do is wrap this up right here, and then we'll move into part two of the broadcast, where we go over which house this falls in for each of you according to your sidereal rising sign and what the themes of that house are. And so thank you for joining me for part one.